Hey everybody, Douglas here from Zombie Nation Gaming, and today we're coming at you with a video. First video in a new series that I'm going to be doing here. This is NHL24. We are doing Franchise Mode, and we are going to be doing a complete rebuild of the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you follow hockey in the real world, the Pittsburgh Penguins, after making the playoffs, for so many consecutive years, going back to Sidney Crosby's, I believe, second season. They missed the playoffs last year for that first time in a long time. And this year they're teetering right on the verge of probably missing again. There's 7 games left in the regular season as of the time that I'm recording this video, which is in the first week of April here. So I believe they are 3 or 4 points out of a playoff spot currently. And I feel like there's a couple of teams that they still have to jump over to get into the playoffs. It seems unlikely that they are going to make it this year, but hey, you never know. They might squeak in. And that would be awesome. I don't know if they're really built to make a deep run, let alone maybe even win the first round series, considering that they'd probably come in as the 7th or 8th seed and have to go on the road and likely play the Rangers, Florida, or Boston. All of those teams give the Penguins fits, even though they did just beat the Rangers recently. Typically, those games are not favorable matchups for the Penguins, so even if they do make the playoffs, I would see probably an early first-round exit for them again. Let's take a look at the settings that I have here. So we're going to be doing... right now, we're going to turn the injuries off, and we're also going to turn the computer trading off for right now, because what we're going to do is we're going to simulate the entirety of the 2023-24 season, since that would get us more in line with where we are in real life. And then we will start our, doing our draft picks, free agent signing, re-signings, trading, all of that stuff once we get through this first season. But just to kind of show what the settings are here, so again, full transparency, we're going to let the head coaches take care of all the line editing. We are going to turn the injuries off. Like I said, we'll turn those back on, plus the CPU trading back on once we simulate through this season. So we'll have the goalies rotating. We do not want the CPU to sign our free agents. We do want the scouting and auto staff management to be on. All of the owner modes, finances, or arena maintenance, that is all going to be on. Again, we're going to turn the CPU trading off. Once we get through this season, we will turn that back on. And then as you can see here, sim engine scoring, draft class quality, prospect quality, all medium, which is the default that is set to. Trade difficulty medium, so we're not trying to cheat the system here. We're just going to try to play it as straight as we possibly can play it. Okay, so now that we've kind of we've taken a look at the settings, I've explained what we're going to do. The only thing that we're going to put as a stipulation on our rebuild is that we have to re-sign Sidney Crosby. That's the only player from the current roster that is untouchable, if you will. So everybody else is fair game. And we are going to go ahead and get into the simulation here and see how it goes. All right, so we are going to go all the way through to the beginning of June and see how our Penguins do. So we're in preseason now. Everybody getting to salary cap compliant. Players going on waivers and whatnot, and here we go, starting the regular season. Now, one thing to point out here is that once this season is finished with its simulation, and we get to the draft of the 2024-25 draft, I don't know why anybody would do this trade. Why would I just swap 3rd-round picks and give you a player? That's stupid. Anyway, we won't be taking any trades during this season here. Again, I want to get the rosters to go as they are to the start of the next season. So as I was saying before some of these ridiculous trades started coming through, is that in the upcoming draft, depending upon where the Penguins finish in this regular season, the San Jose Sharks are going to get a first-round pick. So in the Erik Karlsson trade, the stipulation was that if the Penguins finished anywhere outside of the top 10 in the upcoming draft, the San Jose Sharks would get the 2024-25 first-round pick. If the Penguins finished in a top 10 spot, then that first-round pick would become a 2025-26 first-round pick. So as it's looking right now in our simulation, the Penguins are in a playoff spot. And again, they're asking us to give up a higher round draft pick to get Chris Weidman? No. All right, we're continuing here. We're into February. The record seems to be evening out a little bit. We're getting closer to the 500 mark, which is probably more realistic about where this team is. Well, they really want to get rid of Weidman, don't they? So yeah, hovering around 500. Looks like they're just out of a playoff spot at the moment here as we get into March. We'll be a conservative seller, even though we're not making any trades at this deadline because that already happened to our roster. So here we are. We are out of a playoff spot now. And they've won a couple of games here, picking it up. Continuing to hover kind of pretty close to where they are in real life. They're back in a playoff spot now. Well, probably the last spot. And coming up here on the end of the regular season, are they going to make it? They did make the playoffs. Okay, so looks like they did make the playoffs, and the opening team is Boston, which is probably pretty accurate to where they would be. And we take a look at some of the other matchups here. We've got Toronto, Buffalo, Columbus, Carolina, New Jersey, New York. That one makes sense. Columbus, they have no business being in there. Let's take a look at the West. Vancouver, Winnipeg, that's legit. Dallas, Vegas, yes. Colorado, Minnesota, yes. Edmonton, LA, yes. Those are all the teams that are pretty much in the playoffs in the real NHL. The Eastern Conference, not so much. Buffalo not going to make it. Columbus definitely not going to make it. New Jersey also probably not going to make it. And the Penguins, like I said, it's probably not going to make it also, but they did squeak in here. And let's see, they won the opening game. So let's see how they do. Like I said, against Boston usually is a struggle. Split on the road, coming back home. A loss and a loss, down 3-1. This is probably going to be it. No, they squeak out an overtime win to push it to Game 6. Back at home, can they force a Game 7? And they do again in overtime, so it is a Game 7 on the road. Can they upset the Boston Bruins? They do upset the Boston Bruins in the first round. This is pretty amazing. I don't think that would happen in real life, in all honesty. Now we are going to go on the road to Buffalo. Now, again, I know that Buffalo has a great young up-and-coming team. I feel like maybe this is a little early for them. The Penguins do drop the first 2 on the road. And they squeak out another overtime win in Game 4 to force a Game 5. And let's see if this is going to do it. No, they're hanging on. They've won 2 in a row. Back home for a Game 6. And there it is. So the Penguins are bounced in the second round by the Buffalo Sabres. Looks like Vegas and Winnipeg are going to be playing in the Western Conference Final. So we will just simulate to, it's going to be New Jersey and Buffalo. Let's just go ahead and scroll through here. We'll just take it all the way to the 20th, and it's going to be the New Jersey Devils as our Stanley Cup champion in the simulated 2023-2024 season. Let's take a look at the draft lottery results. Montreal moves up 6 places to get the number 1 spot, bumping Anaheim down to 3rd. Nashville jumps up 2 to the number 2 spot. San Jose then drops down to the number 4 spot. Ottawa down to 5. Chicago down 1 to 6. And then Chicago also gets Tampa Bay's first round pick, so they were picking back-to-back in the first round. And then as you can see here, rounding it out with Philadelphia also getting 2 picks. They have their number 9 pick overall, and it looks like they got the number 16 pick from Florida. So there are your draft results. And now we are going to get into the season, so we'll go ahead and go flip all those settings back to the correct ones and take a look at the draft coming up. Okay, so we have we've changed the settings back to where we have the injuries back on, and the CPU trading has been turned back on. And we're not going to go through all of the different prospects and recommendations and all that stuff, but we are going to take a quick look at what picks we do have. So as you can see here, we do have 2 second-round picks. We picked 9th in the second round, which is from the Philadelphia Flyers. We also have our own 17th pick in that draft. We do not have a 3rd-round pick also. Again, our 1st-round pick went to San Jose as part of that Erik Karlsson deal. We also have a 4th-round pick, a 6th, a 7th, and we do get the New York Rangers in the 7th. So we have 6 draft picks this year's draft. We did make the playoffs, so we don't need... I mean, we do need a ton of help. We need to get younger immediately. So, it looks like Willie McNabb from the SHL is going to be the number 1 overall pick. He is the franchise player. Obviously, we will not be getting him. He'll probably be going to Montreal if everything happens. All right, so let's take a look at the retired players real quick. Zach Parise, Shane Weber, Brian Little, Brian Seabrook, Anisimov, Strawman, Lewis, Komarov, Belmar. Did any Penguins retire? We hope for Jeff Carter retiring. Taylor Fuden, who is age 36. He retired. He was going to get cut anyway. So we have some coaches retiring from all over the place. Get those guys all set. And now Taylor Fedun is going to be a scout for us. Well, that's exciting. As you can see there, Shea Weber and Brad Malone also retiring and now becoming scouts for their former franchises. Okay, there we go. Amazing. We're not going to do the draft class interviews. I've done those before. They're not really... they're not really anything interesting or worth it, so we'll just skip those. Okay, so we are going to update our trade block here, and we're pretty much going to be putting everybody on there that has who is aging out and who is has a super high contract. I also want to put Raleigh Smith on there because he's just a empty sweater at this point. And then we also throw Michael Bunting on there. So there's our trade block. Just going to try to dump all this salary, all these old guys. And, yeah. So let's see. We're going to start the draft. All right. So for the draft for this season, I feel like we're just going to make our picks where we are. I think I'm going to go with that. Unless somebody wants to offer me for one of my players, which they didn't. So let's go take a look. at who we have. So right here, this is scout recommendation. So we do have a scout recommending that we take Simon Zether here. He is a 6'4" center, 18 years old. Don't really know the potential. We do have some guys lit up down here with elite. So we do have this Adam Jako. He's 6'5" right wing. Two-way forward. The bars there indicating that it's semi-accurate. The elite status is very inaccurate. He's kind of ranked right around the 44th overall, which, again, we have the 41st pick. So, not a terrible stretch. We did scout him one time, and again, he is a 6'5" right-handed winger. I do like the size. And I feel like we're just going to take a crack at Adam Jako. Welcome to the team. And he ended up being a top 6. Okay. More of a sniper, 67 overall. I think that's a pretty good pick for us in the second round. So let's get to the 49th pick, and it looks like we're getting a trade offer here from Nashville. This is going to be our second round pick for Colton Sissons and their 6th round pick in 2025. That is garbage. We will decline that. Again, we need to get younger here on this team that is aging out. And here we go. We have Joona Saralainen. Elite grade that is inaccurate. He is a two-way forward. We are picking at 49th here, so 55, not terribly out of the ordinary. Let's check to see what he is. He is 5'10". He is a left-handed centerman. We did scout him a bunch of times. 18 years old. Don't like the size. I do like the potential. So I think we're going to go ahead and make our pick there. I think the other guy that we could potentially pick here is Dalton Gabo. He is 5'9", 171. So not really all that much better in terms of size. He doesn't even have a team. So we are going to go with Joona Saralainen. Welcome to the team. And we got a top 9 forward, again, a 65 overall on the rating, so not terrible. Let's sim up to our pick. I believe we are in the 4th round now at this point. Pick number 17. And here we have Vladimir Mukhnov. And he is lated here as a potentially another elite power forward. That's pretty accurate. Looks like the guy right above him there is a bust, but a 6'1" forward at 18. Right-handed, not terrible. We're going to avoid the bust pick, which is the guy right above. That is Herman Troth. Anybody else down here? We got a bottom 6 forward in Picard. I think we're just going to go ahead and stick with that elite potential. We will take Mekhanov from the Russian League. And a 63 overall power forward. I don't know if you could really be... I guess you could be a 6'1" power forward. All right, simming up to pick number 177. We are now in the 6th round. Pickings will become slim. So let's see who we can get. I feel like we do need to take a defenseman possibly here. We've picked mostly all forwards. At this point in the draft, there's a defenseman right here. Kit Menard, 6'3", 194. There is also a big left wing, Maxime Lafont, 6'5", 205. I do like that size. AHL top 6 forward. So we've got a little bit of some unknown here. A lot of AHL. We've got some an elite goalie possibly. I mean, it's inaccurate. Should we take a stab on him? Let's check his height. 6'1", 192. We are not going to mess with goalies that are that small. We want a big goalie. So let's come back up here to our guys up here at the top. I'm a little torn here on what to do. I'm thinking that we take Lafon, being the 6'5" winger. Or do we take Kip Menard here? I think it's between these two guys, personally. I like the size of them. I guess we could also take Sam Oremba, 6'3" left-handed winger. We've actually got some scouting on him. AHL top 6 playmaker. I feel like, we kind of know what those guys are. But I do like the size here of Maxime Lafon, so let's go ahead and take him. And see what we get. A 54 overall, bottom 6 forward. Okay, so maybe we lucked out there with a big banger power forward. You can definitely be a power forward at 6'5". But a 54 overall, that's a lot of work to do. I don't even know if he's going to make the team. Let's get into our 7th round picks. We have 2 of them. Let's see if we can find a diamond in the rough here by some chance. All right. I do see Kirk Keeling here has been scouted to a top 6 forward, but his potential is pretty low. Let's take a look around. Not really too much happening here. Keeling really the only guy that we have good scouting on. A lot of small players available right here. There's a couple big boys down here, 6'3", 6'5", from the center and the left wing. Noah Van Ville from Canada. He is 20 years old. He is a big boy, but a 20-year-old at this point in the draft is probably not the way to go. Again, we'll try to get young, as young as we can possibly get. I know there's some downside to that. AHL bottom 6 forward, AHL top 6 forward. We've got a good scouting on Keeling, so I think we're just going to go ahead and take him. He is a 53 overall, top 6 forward. A lot of work to be done there. All right, simming out to our final pick, round 7. We have the 21st pick. I believe this was the Rangers pick. And at this point, I mean, we're really just going to throw anything at the wall and see if we can hit. I feel like Van Ville, he's still there. He was our big defender that we looked at previously. He is age 20. It looks like we got some, two-way defenders down here. Not incredibly big guys. From a scouting perspective, lots of small forwards. Got a big boy right there, Leonardo Campoli. Is a grinder, a bottom 6 forward. I feel like there might be somebody better just to take a flyer on. So I think we're just going to take a flyer here on Van Villiers and see what we can get. We haven't, I don't think we picked a defender the entire pick, so let's just get him. 58 overall, he's a defensive defenseman, AHL top 2. So, what can you expect out of a mid-7th round pick? The draft is complete. And here are our selections. Again, we did not have a first or a 3rd round pick. We do have 2 2nd round picks. As you can see there, we got Jekko and Sarah Lainen. I feel like those are probably going to be, those were our 2 best picks. Makovnov was also possibly a good pick. So, getting into the new season here. And we do have some coaches with expiring contracts. We're going to let the CPU take care of re-signing all of those players. And it looks like here's our off-season re-signing phase. We do have 14 players that are going to be becoming restricted free agents. Okay, so now with the draft complete, let's move into the re-signing phase here. I don't know that we can offer Sidney Crosby a new contract. I believe July 1st is the first day that we can offer contract extensions to players that are currently under contract. So let's go ahead and take a look at everybody who is expiring. So, first player, Jeff Carter, unrestricted free agent, not going to offer him a contract. P.O. Joseph, 24-year-old, we're going to offer him a qualifying offer. Vinny Hinostroza, 30-year-old, UFA, not going to get a contract. Let's see here. Benstrom, he's a 25-year-old at 79 overall. I think we're going to go ahead and qualify him for 1 year. Jansen Harkins, 27-year-old, will not be offering him a contract. Sam Pullen, we will qualify him. Rathbone, I'm not even sure who this is, to be honest with you. Jack Rathbone. He was a -7 in 82 games. He was a 4th-round pick from Vancouver. He's got some good skating. He's a two-way defender. Yeah, we'll go ahead and qualify him. Radim Zahorna, unrestricted free agent. We will not be re-signing him. Philippe Hollander, we will qualify. Valtteri Puustinen, we will qualify. We're going to let Ryan Shea walk. John Gruden will qualify. Xavier Ole, 30-year-old, will let him go. We probably can replace him, or we either might have just replaced him. Samorikov, we will go ahead and qualify him. He's a 25-year-old guy. St. Ivany, we will also qualify him. Andonovsky, top 9 forward, 6'1", 25 years old, medium potential. We'll go ahead and I don't know if we're going to qualify him or not. Who else do we have down here? Collins, we're going to let him walk. Hamaliak, 23-year-old, we'll go ahead and qualify him. All right, so I'm just not sure about these 3 guys. We're going to go ahead and we will release all of our guys who are unrestricted free agents that we will not be re-signing. Okay. And then we have our some outstanding players that need to be signed. So Braden Yeager was the Penguins' first-round draft pick in last year's draft, so we're definitely going to offer him a contract. Yarvente, I'm not sure where he came from. Here's Jekko. He was our first-round pick from this draft, so we will definitely be offering him a contract. Solarian, I'm going to offer him a contract also. He was our I don't know where this guy, Emil Yarvente, Don't know where he came from. He's top 6 potential. 19-year-old at a 67 already. So I think we do need to, we'll offer him a contract. And here is another one of our draft picks. So we will go ahead and offer Mikhanov a contract. And let's see, where are our, I don't know who Cooper Foster is. We might just let him walk. Noah Van Vialet. There's Maxime Lafont, our big boy. Needs some work done. And Kurt Keeling, whose potential is, it's low, but he's a top 6 forward, so I think we're going to go ahead and offer Lanford a contract. Lafont. And I think we will also offer a contract here. I think we're going to let Keeling go. The other person I'm not sure about is Cooper Foster here. Not really good defensively, not very physical or skating. He was a 2024, he was our 4th round pick here. Oh, that's Mikhanov. This is who I was looking at. 2023 6th round pick by the Penguins. I guess I didn't sign him last season, so I think we're just going to let him remain unsigned. All right, so I think we have all of our guys tendered that we wanted to tender. I'm still unsure about these 3 guys. We'll just probably leave them be. And we will go ahead and advance a day. And hopefully we'll start to see some of these draft picks sign. All right. All right, so this is the end of the re-signing phase here. There's still 4 players that do not have offers. I think we're good there. They're going to become unrestricted free agents. So let's see here. We got St. Ivany is accepting, Benstrom accepting, Puustinen accepting, Gruden accepting, Hamalik accepting, Samorikov accepting, Poulin, everybody excited to be back. And we did, looks like we let all of our coaches go. All right, let's check out our trading block again since they continue to change it. And again, we're trying to do a full rebuild, and a full rebuild means we need to get guys that are older, that have high contracts, and we want them out of our team. We need to get draft picks. We need to get younger. So that is my updated trading block. And we are now at July 1st. So the first thing that I want to do here is offer Sidney Crosby a contract extension. As you can see there, he had 1 year left on his deal. We're going to try to go 7-year, $8.7 million contract. Now, if you know anything about Sidney Crosby, you know that he is very superstitious, right? Everything is 8/7 for him. So he was born August 7th, 1987. Wears number 87. And his contracts have always been $8.7 million since he has been in the NHL. That's what he takes. That's what he wants. That is what we are going to offer him right here. We're going to do 7 years. This would take him through his age 43. I think he has the ability to do it. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that done. What's interesting is that, you know, he's not considering other options. He's under contract for us. So that's the guy that we wanted to extend first. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the free agents that are available. So again, we're not looking for guys in their later ages. We are looking for trying to get some younger guys out here to help us replenish. So from a free agent standpoint, you know, I'm looking for maybe a defenseman because I would like to move Chris Letang. We could also move Graves. I think there's a couple of different options there. So we've got Noah Hannafin is a free agent. He's got 5 teams interested in him. He wants a 4-year deal. Not terrible. I might go after him. Jake DeBrusk up here he wants a 2-year deal. He is 27. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to make some trades and then get into the free agent signing to replace these guys. So again, everybody on the team is completely fair game. Let's take a look at what we can do. So there's a couple of guys down here, guys like Matt Nieto, John Ludwig, Nola Chari, right? All those guys, Raquel, like these are the guys that need to go. They're older, they make a ton of money. They don't really do a lot for us. Now I know Nieto doesn't really make a lot of money, but he, you know, not really a part of the plans. So we're going to look at Dallas here. I do like Stakhovin. He's obviously got elite talent. His trade value is very high. We will not be able to get him for Matt Nieto. So let's take a look and see if any of the guys in red are of interest for us. So I do know that Dallas has a couple of younger guys, not named Stakhanov, that are decent, or that could be decent younger players. So we're just going to take a look here real quick, and let's try to get right here Maverick Bork, 22 years old. He's 77 overall. Looks like we're going to need to add maybe a draft pick here. So let's see if we can put a draft pick in to sweeten up the deal. We've got a couple 7th rounders. Let's see if we can add this Florida Panthers 7th rounder, propose the trade, and we did get him. All right, so there we go. First trade done deal. Maverick Bork coming to the Penguins, and we get rid of Matt Nieto. Let's see. Where else can we go here? I know Vancouver has a lot of great prospects. They also have pretty good salary cap. In terms of, you know, the salary cap room. So I'm looking at guys like Hoglander and guys like Lekarimaki. like Ramaki. All right, so we definitely would like to see if we can maybe pull these guys off of Vancouver. So let's see if we send Chris Letang and Lars Eller to Vancouver. I feel like we might need something else coming back if we can get this deal. Let's see if maybe they have one more player that we could take a look at. See if maybe Ratty will do it. We might need to add something now. So let's go ahead and propose that trade, and it was accepted. Okay. Wow. So we just dealt Chris Letang. Whew. And Lars Eller for some great prospects. John Klingberg. Looks like he's available. Top 4 defenseman. A little bit younger. Costs a little bit less. Let's go ahead and offer him a 2-year contract. We'll give him 3.5. See if he's interested in that. He's a big dude. Let's see here. We're going to offer Jack Roslovic a contract. We'll go 2.8 on a 2-year. Offer him also. So those are my 2 guys. So to replace Eller and to replace Letang right now. There are some other guys here that could be in the mix, but they all want pretty long contracts for the most part. DeBrusk is pretty expensive, so maybe if we can move Malkin, we could sign DeBrusk. So let's go see if we can get some more trades done. All right, Winnipeg has some talent also. Let's see who we might be able to get. Get some old guys with some big salaries that they're looking to dump. And we are looking for Lambert. And we're going to see if we can just get him outright. See if there's anybody that we are willing to give up. Say Nola Chari, perhaps. We need some more value in here. Let's try 2026. Pick added. I think this should do it. Let's try maybe a 4th rounder. All right, there we go. Lambert acquired for Achari. Ooh, let's see. All right. So we made a couple of deals. Let's advance the day, see if we can get advance 2 days here. We got an incoming trade for Sam Poulin and a 5th round pick in 2025 to move back around in 2025 and get a 2024 from Edmonton. I just don't see the value here. I'm going to decline. Get a couple of days into this free agency. We did get Roslovic and Klingberg. Okay. Let's see if we can find a trade. For Carlson. No. Can we find a trade for Malkin. No. Graves. We do get some trades. So Graves has been pretty underwhelming in his first year with Pittsburgh. I'm not necessarily done with him personally. I think he could have a similar path as did Marcus Pettersson. So I don't know if you guys recall, when Marcus Pettersson first came to Pittsburgh, he was in a very similar situation, right? He got a big contract. He was a younger guy, and he was pretty awful in the first, I'll say, years, 1 and 2, maybe even into year 3 a little bit. And it was looking like that was going to be a complete bust and that contract was going to be just one of the worst contracts ever. Pettersson has now developed into the best defensive defenseman on the Penguins by far. And I kind of think that Graves might have something similar going on. So the Ducks have 2 different offers out there. The Vetrano deal, much better. A third and a fourth and a player at lower salary. Only 1 year left for Vetrano. Buffalo wants to offer 2 second-round picks. Calgary wants Mangiapane, who's got 1 year left on his deal, and then 2 later-round picks. We've got Jake Evans and a third and a fourth. 2 second-rounders to New Jersey, a second and a third for St. Louis, a Max Domi, a third and a fifth from Toronto. The Capitals are going to give 2 second-round picks in the upcoming draft. Not terrible. I think we're going to hold off on Graves, to be all honest with you. All right, so Rust, who has a pretty big deal, $5 million, 4 years left, and it looks like we're going to just get some potential draft picks back for him. Buffalo second and a fourth, Chicago third and a fourth, and that is going to be it. The Buffalo deal, not bad, a second and a fourth in the upcoming draft. They must feel that they are very close. They're willing to give up a couple of picks. I don't think Rust is awful. But that salary, that 5 year, he's 32. I feel like this could just be a good time to move on from Rust. So let's go back and revisit those deals in all honesty. I feel like the second and the fourth in the upcoming draft is the way to go. We are going to take that trade. Pick up a couple of draft picks. And now we need to go back out to the free agent market and see if we can replace him on again, we're looking for a 1 year deal. So guys like Toffoli, Kane, Tarasenko, I think these guys are all in play. Again, on just a 1 year deal, I'm not worried about overspending. Like here's James Van Riemsdyk looking for a 1 year deal. Sure, he's older, but at a reduced salary just to fill in. We will go ahead and offer him a contract. We'll give him 3.95 on a one-way. All right, and there it is. Sidney Crosby re-upping 7 years, $8.7 million per year. That was actually the most important part of the entire program here. All right, so here we go. We're getting trades coming in now. Boston for Samuel Poulin. I think we looked at this deal already and we said no to that offer. Yeah, to Van Riemsdyk. Oh, guys, also, just real quick, don't forget to check your the goaltenders. They're not included with the skaters. And, if you forget, then you could be SOL, right? So Nedeljkovic was our starting goaltender last season. Or, I'm sorry, our backup goaltender last season. I'm pretty sure he performed pretty well. He's 28 years old. We didn't re-sign him initially. I was looking for not Stalock. Maybe he already signed and we lost him. So let's just offer Nedeljkovic a 2-year deal. Just give him a little bit more money. Bring him back. There is one guy, though, I do want to try to trade for. Now that I'm thinking about it. So we're going to go over to Nashville because they have an amazing goaltending prospect. Askarov right here. His trade value isn't incredibly high. He's got 1 year left. I feel like we might be able to acquire him. Let's see what they're looking for. Let's see if we can get this done right here. We'll maybe ask for a draft pick also. How about a 4th rounder? Let's see if we can get this done. It's rejected. All right, let's take the draft pick up to a 6th round pick. All right, so no pick, but we were able to get the deal done. So Askarov comes to the Penguins for O'Connor and Pickering. I don't think that's a terrible trade overall to get a goaltender like that. We'll probably have him start off in the AHL if Nedeljkovic signs. So Van Riemsdyk is going to join us. And I'm pretty sure that is going to be everything that we're going to do for this season. So Nedeljkovic is back. And we're just going to be getting probably bad trade offers now. So that's going to be a decline. I think we're done for moves for right now. I think we're going to end up having to keep Crosby, Carlson, and Malkin. Well, Crosby, obviously, we wanted to change. Carlson, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get rid of that $10 million contract. Malkin, so we got some folks coming up that are going to need deals. Riley Smith is in the last. So maybe we can get Smith moved at the trade deadline. Puljujärvi is coming up on an unrestricted free agent. All right, so we're going to take a look here. I think we're going to be done signing and trading for right now. San Jose trying to get their trade back. I think we just did this, didn't we, guys? That's going to be a no. Barabanov, huh? No, I'm not doing a 5-year deal at $5 million a year. Absolutely not. We're trying to get out of these deals. No, bad deal. Bad deal. Didn't you guys just offer this deal and I said no? Jeez. A 6th-round pick's really going to do it. Ponomarov. No. Ugh. 4-4-5. A 4th-rounder. That one was tempting, honestly. All right, let's set our captains. We've got Malkin is an assistant. Crosby, of course, is our captain. And Carlson will be the assistant. I am fine with all of those. And let's take a look at our lines here. Yeah, I don't think we need Malkin over here on the line. See, now when I look at my lineups right here, all right, just on offense, like right side looks pretty good, left side looks okay. We need a center, right? Like we need a 3rd-line center. Not going to lie. On our defense here, we've got Rathbone and Joseph, Klingberg and Graves. You'd like to have a better right-handed defenseman down there. I'm going to be good with these pairings. So we do need a center, though, in my opinion. I don't think any of these guys can play center over here. These are all wings. Roslovic could play center. I feel like we just need to get a center. So I think we'll leave the lines right there. They're just going to change them anyway because the CPU just can't help itself. It has to go in and meddle. It has to go in and meddle around with everything. Like it just can't leave things alone. There's Kyra, but I don't think we need to make a trade to get a guy. I'm pretty sure that we can just go sign somebody. Raquel and a 3rd rounder in 2026 for a 2nd-round pick. I kind of need players right now, guys, at the beginning of the season. If we want to look at doing trade deadline deals, that's one thing. All right. I think we are going to end this video for here for today. So we got a lot done. We ended up getting through the 2023-2024 sim season. We ended up going through our draft, all of our re-signings. We did end up making a bunch of trades to get a little bit younger and get into a position to rebuild quicker. We did make some free agent signings to fill some gaps on short-term deals. And I do thank you for watching up to this point. If you made it all the way, please do give a thumbs up, like the video. It does help out the channel. Also, please consider subscribing so that you get the latest videos. If you hit the notification button, that will also give you some info on when we're dropping new videos. We try to put out a couple of videos a week. And come on back for the next one, where we will be getting into the next season in this series. Thanks again, and we will see you soon.